Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I'm recording this video, although not a week ago, so 9 days ago. And I hope you enjoy this video. This is our alternate future of the world series. And as you know, humans in season 3 have been trying to make the moon adaptable. In some countries like Greece, Bulgaria, Albania, Yugoslavia, Ukraine, and Japan and South Korea, humans liberated it, but the rest is just AI control. And with the AIs being more lenient towards humans here, and the Southern African is really against humans, and the Middle East also is more oppressive, whereas places like Southeast Asia, Oceania, and the North American countries tend, unlike these countries in this area, to be less strict. And many of the AI nations don't really like this, especially the Middle East Pact, who quickly, after forming the Baghdad Pact with South Africa, they start their offensives. One of their offensive goals to meet up in the south, which, let's see this offensive goal, how it went. And so they do this before their opponent is ready. Now another one is to get across the Nile, which they have done, and move in. And try and take away the north coast, which is very important. And then here, combat is going to be a bit slower as it's a jungle, as you can tell, as you guys know. And the Northern African nation is a really strong one. And yeah, as you can tell, it might not go so well. But keep in mind, the capital of the South African would be further south, whereas North Africa has made it more west. With this being their major front, while the South is a major fallback. But about the South, just to let you keep in mind. About this front, guys. Oh wait, that's the wrong color. And let's use this color because it's more easy to tell it's blue than red. And they moved to Lake, I don't know what that one is called. Is it Lake Victoria? Maybe. Not really certain. Probably do know the name of it, just not right now, you know. There's a lot of lakes in this region. With their front line being stalemated in some areas, and really this front in the south has stalled out. Whereas the African front is starting to stall out, but due to actions in Europe launches an invasion with the support of Siberia, India, and China. Why are these guys fighting if they own the world? Because what better do they have to do? Maybe they do have human-like characteristics. Maybe they do like conflict. Everybody likes conflict in this world, it seems. I don't know what went wrong in this series. Hopefully. Well, I can see humans like each other more than this scenario, hopefully. Hopefully what played out in this series doesn't play out in real life. But it won't. With the European state loving colonization, they go into Cameroon, in Nigeria, they make colonies. And both sides have agreed to make one big puppet. But then they realize changing the government is probably more effective than controlling it, because it makes it harder to rule. With the Southern Front being a huge failure now. With this encirclement being the big deal, because that was one of its biggest troop fronts. With the fall of all of this, there has been an agreement to partition Africa approximately this line. Let me draw the line better. Let's show you what they mean. And drawn to show where they're going to divide Africa. a Western African Federation by, like, let's say a few hundred humans, because there's only about 100,000 humans left on Earth. About 500, maybe 600 declare independence in one area of Africa, which includes Western Sahara and South. Control. You know why, guys? Because look at it. Basically, what has happened now is that a big chunk of their control is lost. But AIs can and will take them back eventually. They're just planning when. Humans have been interfering with this. This is like part 2 of season 2. So, like, yeah. With the surrender of this area being a big blow, as both sides have agreed to their lands. And now the division of this area is to be held. And this being a big blow to that republic, AIs are planning state. And then they kind of annexed Africa. And they declared war on most of their nations that escaped, except Ukraine, because Ukraine is the only nation with too much power for them to stop. With their invasion going swift here and easy. Nobody knows why. But then it gets here and they just can't move. Because there's this technology discovered that stops AI. Fine, that never happened. But yeah. As you can see, Europe invaded this much. But these humans aren't ordinary. As is found out, there is some AI human sympathizers, which is in North America. And guess what? Just so happens North America has some humans in charge too, along with AI. Who knew that? Not only that, South America and Mexico, Central America, they're all co-helpers of this, as long as they're helped Ukraine succeed in independence, as threats are made by Europe to all 3 nations. It is then found out that Japan and South Korea are also supporting this. And so, yeah. We have a crisis. With them unable to beat this, but them unable to beat them, they go to the negotiating table. Free. Part of the reason there's still humans on Earth is because they didn't leave yet. But the humans on the moon have lots of planning for their invasion and lots of strengthening to do first. They can't do it now, but they will one day. Basically, the new world is more pro-human, by the way. If that makes sense to you guys, which it might or might not, doesn't really matter right now, but yeah. Along with Ukraine joins it. Basically a freedom area. With this being a big fair to AI dominance in Asia, they turn China out of a puppet state to help control it. And let's go to the moon. Well, with nobody really here with countries, it's a big idea to change that to water. And really how it will go is up near here. I'll show you the borders of the lake. Let's see it. You guys excited? Probably. As this is a big area for the lake, all of the areas nearby are excited for this, as it's going to be a big improvement to their economies on the moon. With the moon's area going to be smaller, but that's no big deal. You know why, guys? Because humans will figure it out. And now, as we can see, there's 2 areas. Now there's spreading of rain now starting on this planet, so it starts really turning into like Earth. But with all the water leads more rain, which will most likely lead to a few lakes. With the moon now losing its texture, unfortunately. Wish I could keep it with green. And negotiations are made with different nations that are near this lakes to divide the land, with nations closer to both only really getting good negotiations on one side. So they all pick the bigger side for their better negotiating. And so let's see the border changes. A few more nations create themselves on the moon. Although Yugoslavia exists, which is Slav nations of the south, a few more, like Bulgaria wants to have a state. Now Bulgarians have a choice. With all the free land basically being like an all-you-can-eat buffet, with some negotiations having gone on. There is a Yugoslavia, but you can also have two nations, I guess. We'll use Bul for Bulgaria. Bul. Bulgaria becoming independent and other nations. Who didn't get a coast? Well, Paraguay did. Lunar China basically has nothing to do, but Egypt has won pretty well. But Paraguay, angered by them by not getting a coastline. Bolivia has learned to live like that, by the way, but they have never been coastless, with them declaring war on Uruguay and Guyanas. I think that's what that is. You also have the Central American Union wanting to expand its coast, joining in this war, but basically the countries will be kept. A lot of nations are infuriated, including the US of A. Who's the most infuriated? By saying, guys, we're trying to get off. Oh, wait, that's the North American Union saying, guys, we're trying to get off this planet and get off the moon and back to a planet. Got it? So together. Including the North American Union, Turkey, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, Argentina, Peru, Chile, Patagonia, Russia and Poland, Bulgaria, Switzerland, Mali, Yugoslavia. Lunar China doesn't, because, yeah, but India, Egypt, and, this is India, Central America, and Paraguay. Along with the rest, just not liking the rules of this. But IN, what's an IN nation? India, gotta be sent here. Not India. Indonesia, that's what it is. So with water on the moon, I don't like it anymore with it terraformed. And Switzerland being the ones with AI tech. With SpaceX being accused of being pro-AI, among other things. And so they are lack of trusted with sanctions and stuff, basically. But it's not really a nation. It's just a corporation on the moon. And thank you for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe. I can't give you an accurate subscriber count because I'm recording this 9 days ago. But please enjoy and leave a subscribe. Also, comments might be answered and might not as well because I'm not going to be here. So yeah. So please do as and watch my videos, as that would mean a lot for the channel. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out, and not until you subscribe.